What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what it's like to be in an Air Force BMT flight and the drama that you're going to face. But before we get into that, let's cover some basics. My name is Michael Inman and I'm an airman in the United States Air Force. I post a video every Monday on this channel, so if you like military content and specifically Air Force content, definitely hit the subscribe button and make sure you click the notification bell to on so you know when I upload a brand new video. But without further ado, let's get into it. There are a lot of different types of people that you're going to meet in your BMT flight. And I don't even mean just from where they come from or how they speak, but also the things they like and also how they were brought up. With that many different types of people within one group, ranging from 50 to 60 people, there's going to be some tension. So in this video, we're firstly going to talk about some cliques that almost every flight will have. You can either know about them in advance, or maybe you'll want to join it. I don't care. You do what you want. But regardless, we're going to quickly discuss some cliques. Then we're going to talk about how to manage conflict. Because unfortunately, everyone will have a moment of conflict, I think. I think everyone will. If you don't, props to you. And finally, I'm going to end the video with a little bit of advice on how to manage those situations so that you have a pleasant, if not incredible, Air Force experience and you leave your BMT flight making some really great friends, not only for your career in the Air Force, but also for a lifetime. I have created a list of 6 cliques that you most likely will run into within your own BMT flight. But of course, there may be more or less depending on how fragmented your BMT flight is. Yes, we love a kumbaya moment, but sometimes we just don't get it, guys, okay? So the first clique that almost every flight clearly will have, unless they all hate each other, is the element leaders and dorm chief. Now, your element leaders and dorm chief are some of the trainee leaders that are helping your entire flight kind of get faster, get more precise, and just generally get yelled at less by your MTI. So, because you're element leaders, which element leaders are the people who march in the front of a flight. So when a flight is going from A to B, the 4 people in front are called element leaders. So your element leaders and the dorm chief are always kind of working together, speaking to each other, trying to strategize on how to make the flight work together better. And so it will seem like a clique, and that's just one that every flight will have. And it's, of course, upon the element leaders and the dorm chief to make sure that they are still always accessible and they don't come off, isolated and standoffish, because that's a problem. So the first clique, of course, is the element leader dorm chief clique, and that will be one that you will run into. But once again, they're all people. You can easily interact with that clique. The next clique that you most likely will run into later in the BMT experience, but is still very similar to the first, is the Beast Monitors clique. And Beast Monitors are the people in which the element leaders and the dorm chief are doing their roles throughout BMT until there's Beast Week. And of course, after Beast Week, the element leaders and dorm chief resume their responsibilities. But actually during Beast Week, where you do kind of a mock deployment, you actually have separate element leaders and a separate dorm chief during that week experience. It's not only to give other people an experience to lead, but also it's nice to kind of throw responsibilities on someone and see how they step up to the plate. And so the Beast Monitors, which are those 5 individuals, they are in, at least during the Beast Week, and the week leading up to Beast Week, when they find out who they are, when they find out they will be the Beast Monitors, they usually become a clique, and during Beast, they're definitely a clique. Because while you are at Beast, a lot is going on, like so much is happening. So the Beast Monitors are literally leaning on each other like, how do we get this together? How do we encourage people? How do we make sure people are still motivated and not pissed off, sleeping in tents in the sand? There's a lot on the shoulders of Beast Monitors. And on top of that, from what I hear, they don't always feel the immediate respect of authority because they were kind of plucked later in the BMT schedule or BMT timeline and told they were leaders. And so unfortunately, as humans are sometimes, their peers are like, this is news to me. You still my peer. You can sit down somewhere. You're not yelling at me. So that sometimes can be the experience of a beast monitor, but regardless, we will talk about that more later. In this video, just understand that they will seem like a clique. So after we have discussed our Element Leader Storm Chief clique and our Beast Monitors clique, the next clique is what I call now, don't judge me everyone, because I'm not one of them, but you may still judge the name. I call them super athletes. Because I don't know if it was just me, because I was just looking from the outside into this clique, because I never got my invitation, nor was considered for an invitation. But when I was looking into this clique, that, like I said, every flight probably has one. They were just the people who, I swear, whenever we had free time, they're like, yo, can you bench press me? Yo, let's bench press the bed. Yo, can you do 100 push-ups in 1 minute and 30 seconds? Bet. Every time I turned around, I saw this clique of maybe 4 to 8 people just doing whatever they could to be physically active, physically competitive. Maybe they'll be grappling. I don't know. Is that a thing, grappling? I was not part of it. But just know that the super athletes will be a clique you will see in your flight, whether male or female, and they gonna be doing some shenanigans. But good for them, because I wish I could keep up. I do. I wish I could. The fourth clique is the profile crew. They are a group of people that either previously or currently are on profiles. And you may not always have too many in your flight because, I don't know, you may just have a flight that no one gets hurt, everyone's fine, everything's going swimmingly. On the other side though, other flights will have like 6 to 8 people who can't do running because they twisted an ankle or they got shin splints or it's a whole thing. But definitely, no matter how few people you have in your own flight, when you go to the PT pad, when it is time for PT, outside PT, not under the overhangs, when you are going to the run days or anything like that, you will see the profile crew. Because when y'all are running laps for 26 minutes, they're gonna be standing to the side, I guess wearing some of them are on crutches, which is really unfortunate, I understand that. Some are just kind of standing there looking fine, but I do presume they have shin splints, so they cannot be running. But it's like a pack. It's just a pack of people who BMT has just been rude and rough to. BMT did them dirty, and they are not well anymore. So I call them the profile crew, because I'm like, when you see them standing while you're running 26 minutes worth of laps, they know each other. One person from my flight, love him dearly, he would make his way over to where the people in profile stood, and I swear before he got there, they'd be like, hey Johnny, how you been? How you been since 2 days ago? Good, Mary, how you been? It's a whole crew. They know each other's names. They are friends. It's a whole thing. So that is a crew that you may have in your flight. You may not, but you will definitely notice them, at least at the PT pad. The fifth clique that I want to inform you guys about is the Spanish-speaking crew, SSC. But when I say Spanish-speaking crew, and usually every flight has a Spanish-speaking crew, they speak in Spanish to each other the whole time. Now, of course, they interact with the MTIs in English, and if you ask them a question, of course, at least the people on my flight, super nice, they can easily code switch. It's amazing. They can just switch languages. It's a talent. So they definitely are very capable and easy to talk to, but it's just their default when they're kind of speaking with friends and telling jokes is to, of course, do it in Spanish. And so, once again, I was not able to, of course, spend an exorbitant amount of time with this clique because I don't speak Spanish. Next and lastly, the last clique that I felt was worth mentioning is the "We hope you don't see us" crew. And woof, they are pretty darn quiet, but they always have each other's backs. It's true, it's impressive. You'll see them, especially on Sundays, going to one of their beds or going to one of the cots where one of them slept and congregating around it. Let's say there's 4 to 8 of them, and they'll just be playing makeshift games. They will maybe illegally make some cards, like a deck of cards, or they'll just literally write out their own way to play Dungeons and Dragons, but themselves. They don't need the board. They will create it themselves. Very impressive. Yes, that is the we hope you don't see us crew, because they are stealth. And those are kind of 6 examples of crews that you may run into, crews or cliques that you will probably see in your flight. But again, you will find your own clique. It may not match any of those descriptions, and you will find your own clique in your BMT flight. You will be fine, unless you are someone that chooses and opts to kind of be solo, which of course, I respect that choice. Do you, and just get to the end of BMT and keep on chugging. So, no problem. But now for the second part of the video in regards to conflict resolution. You most likely, and I'm speaking specifically to you most likely will get into 1, maybe 2, hopefully 1 or none, but most likely 1 verbal disagreement during your time. This is what I want you to think about when your time comes. And things pop off between you and Amy, or for my men, between you and Billy. When things pop off, this is what you need to know. First, you will be fine. Stop thinking this is like the end of the world. Oh my God, I'm in a fight mode, or like, oh, I'm gonna try to avoid all conflicts. No. If and when you get in one, you will be entirely fine. Unless y'all actually start like punching each other, then y'all both get recycled and you're not fine. But 1, remember you will be fine. Once again, it most likely will happen. You'll be fine. It's part of life. The second thing I need you to remember, and this is more important, is remember to de-escalate or minimize whatever part you're playing in escalating the situation. So if you can't actively de-escalate the situation because you're seeing red, you're gone. Somehow, if you can't de-escalate, at least try to neutralize what you're doing that is making it get even bigger and badder, and even like harsher insults are being thrown, or even don't be the person who gets even closer to the person's face. Don't do that. So just, if you can't de-escalate, meaning strategically lead to the conflict being resolved, or at least put to the side, like we're not talking about it anymore, we're walking away from each other. If you're not able to do that, if you're not that mature, then at least be mindful of the choices you're making while you're in this moment, and don't escalate it further. They can, but don't be the one who does that, because then you will get kicked out. And lastly, the last step that's very important, remember that you live together. So one of you, one of you eventually should pass the olive branch. And I don't care what that looks like. You can help them fold socks. You can be like, hey, can I talk to you? Yo, brother, we good? Yo, sis, are we fine? I don't care what it looks like, but one of y'all eventually need to pass an olive branch, because y'all live together, and who needs 8 weeks or 6 weeks or 4 weeks of just tension? That's just annoying and stupid. So one of you, and I really implore it to be you, to be the mature person after, let's say, a few days have passed by, to just pull them to the side and be like, hey, are we good? Let's talk about it. That's what I say. And in closing, everyone, BMT will be dramatic. I'm letting you know. I told you all. I did. There will be drama. It's part of the fun. Yay. The last bits of advice that I can give, and this is how we're going to close out the video, is really go into BMT trying to be respectful to everyone, all of your peers, whether they're in your clique, whether they're not in your clique, whether you naturally don't vibe with that type of person, but at the end of the day, you don't really need things to escalate. So you literally are just going to be respectful. No matter who they are, just be respectful, and low key, you will be fine, and you are going to have a much better time in BMT. Next thing is, this will actually help you be good with a lot of people in your flight, and then you really may be able to exit BMT never having even a verbal altercation, which is a win. Is try to see how you can help out the people around you. So there's being respectful, but then if you're actively just trying to see how you can help people out, like I said, third time, if you're good at rolling socks, help someone roll socks. End of story. If you are, aware that MTIs are entering the dormitory in like 3 minutes because you saw them when you were getting your laundry or something, and you go back into the dorm, let them know. Be like, yo, our MTI is here, and it's a Saturday. They are here. Everyone get it together. Put away the cards, put away the Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone hide everything. Do your part and people will appreciate you. And so if there are moments of conflict, they're going to also know that they like you though, or that you've done good things for them. So in this moment of tension, at least subconsciously, they're going to not try to make it go past a certain point because they know that you've helped them out. And finally, after being respectful and trying to help people out when you can, lastly, don't be the one who gets the flight repeatedly lit up. That is asking for everyone to fight with you. I'm sorry. Every flight has that person. And to be honest, that person doesn't want to be that person. They're trying. So I'm sorry if it's you. But just try hard not to be the person who keeps messing up on the same thing repeatedly. Because then, man, now your flight gonna start rolling eyes at you. Now they're gonna start giving you attitude and sass. It's a whole thing. And then you might be isolated because people aren't mature and empathetic all the time, especially in stressful environments. So that's my last bit of advice in regards to not having drama in your flight. Try not to be the one who keeps messing up and making everybody do push-ups. Don't do that. Don't do that to them. Be better. Be better. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button and definitely comment and like. Also, if you want to see a little bit more of my face, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @MichaelAinman_. Until next Monday, have a great, safe rest of your week. And Lord, I can't wait till 2021, right? See you later, guys.